Let's compare and contrast the Synergy UBERSCHALL module and the Synergy Killer Kali module. I did a video on the channel not too long ago comparing a bunch of my favorite high gain modules, and I did mention in that video, like I've mentioned several times before, the UBERSCHALL is probably my favorite Synergy module in the whole ecosystem. That was before I got the Killer Kali though, so I want to put them side by side, and I'm going to start off just by dialing in each module where I like it for what I think it does best. So we'll start out on the blue channel of the UBERSCHALL. I'm running the gain and the bass quite low on here. I just approach this like a really thick sounding modded Marshall, and with a Les Paul, it gives me this. I had a good laugh to myself right before I hit record on this video because I was playing through that blue channel with those settings and really digging it. Then I wanted to tune my guitar, so I just plugged it into my Axe-Fx, used the Axe-Fx tuner, turned the tuner off, continued playing through the Axe-Fx and going, man, I just love the way this blue channel on the UBERSCHALL sounds. And then I looked down and realized I was playing through my JCM 800 preset on the Axe-Fx where I've added a boost pedal to it. So I'll just let you hear that really quickly just to reiterate the point that I have really specific tastes and I probably just dial most things in to sound pretty similar. So surprise, surprise, I have really specific tastes and preferences that I've honed over years and years of playing guitar. I mean, isn't this just all of us? We all know what we like and we're probably trying to hit it with whatever piece of gear we're using. I'm getting sidetracked already though. Let's hear the red channel on the UBERSCHALL. This one just piles gain and aggression on top of that blue channel. Again, I find I don't need much bass out of this. I have turned the gain up probably higher than I would actually use it, but we're gonna hear the Killer Kali in a second, which has even more gain on there. So red channel, UBERSCHALL. That red channel is interesting. There's still the core UBERSCHALL tone in there, but I hear this interesting mix between almost a Mark series style pick attack in the mid-range and upper mids and a bouncy rectifier kind of feel out of the low end on there. I really like playing palm mutes on there. They are so satisfying. Let's go over to the Killer Kali now. I have dialed in each channel with very similar settings, except I'm only using 3 gain stages and no saturation on the blue channel. Then I've got the 4th gain stage and the saturation kicked in on the red channel. So it's just got all the gain. This is more of your Jose modded Marshall Cameron CCV style architecture, and it makes me want to do slightly different things. Let's hear it. absolute brutality on there. You can add more bass to this and pull out more mid-range and really get scooped and crazy with this red mode on here, which I'll do really quickly. It is worth noticing, that red mode of the UBERSCHALL, like I was saying before, there's this kind of chirp to the pick attack in there where I'm hearing that same pick attack get kind of compressed by all the different gain stages on here, especially running the gain high on the Killer Cali. I'll try to play something which brings that out. It could also just be the fact that the Killer Cali has two bright caps on there, two gain controls, the saturation and the extra gain stage engaged. There's just so much gain and distortion happening that when you really dig in, you get that, I'm going to describe it as a splattering kind of sound out of those really aggressive pick attacks, whereas the UBERSCHALL mostly keeps them intact. It's almost like they stay nice and sharp and spiky. I don't know, are you guys hearing this, or am I just slowly losing my mind on here? What is cool about the Killer Cali though is, say we go to the blue channel and we leave the saturation and the fourth gain stage out of it, is, if you wanted to say disable the bright cap across the first gain pot and run that really low, and then maybe hit this EQ switch up so you get more of a Marshall style mid-range, run the bass low, run the mids up, you can get a little bit more of that traditional lower gain Marshall sound out of it. I know what some of you are thinking, lower gain. This isn't low gain. Turn the boost on the UBERSCHALL off and you play around with the bright caps and also pump up the mids, it can do a lower gain thing, but to me, it doesn't have that kerrang that you would get out of a classic Marshall. It's a little bit softer attack-wise. The distortion has a slightly different texture. It's by no means bad, but it doesn't do the classic like Plexi or JCM style thing that the Killer Cali does. It's still pretty cool though. That module just wants to have the boost on, and it wants to do this. Ultimately, the Killer Cali wants to be the Killer Cali, and that to me is that really unique modern take on a modded Marshall. If you watched my in-depth video demo with it and you heard those tones at the beginning, that's kind of what I want it to do anyway. Similar thing with the UBERSCHALL, it has real strengths that I don't have in other amplifiers. If I want a Mark series tone, I'm going to plug my Mark IV in. If I want to rectify a tone, I'll plug my Recto in and then reevaluate my life and then plug a boost pedal in between the guitar and the amp and go, oh, I actually want a boosted Recto tone. But the UBERSCHALL module and the Killer Cali do things that I can't already do with my hardware tube amps. And what I like about having these as kind of benchmarks or reference points is I learn from them. And when I want to go and dial in anything else, whether it's my Axe effects, whether it's a piece of software, whether it's another amplifier, having all this control on here can be pretty daunting. But the more you play with it and the more you explore and get different textures and tones out of there, I just feel like that's a good thing, and it's good to learn about all these circuits as well. I mean, the primary use is they sound good and they are going to give you excellent guitar noises, right? But one thing I like about the Synergy ecosystem is you can learn about different styles of gain or different preamp circuits just by swapping modules in and out. I think it's maybe an unintended and underappreciated aspect of that whole system. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below anyway. And what I'm going to do, we heard the intro where I had a double-tracked riff with the Killer Cali and a double-tracked riff with the UBERSCHALL. Here it is quad-tracked with both of them blended. I think this is the best of both worlds. This is a little excerpt from the Ragdoll song, Letting Go. If you want to check out some Ragdoll music, it's linked in the video description. Same thing with my Patreon. Go and make some really filthy, glorious guitar noises, and I'll see you on the next one.